I'm going to go shoot something in just a bit with us. Go on Instagram, I guess. What's the sense of doing? Where is this? There you go. All right, let's see if we get anybody. There's any questions that aren't just fucking stupid. But I say there's no stupid question. It's fucking ridiculous. They're definitely stupid questions. But I'll answer them. You just don't like my answer. No shade right now. Can you believe it? No sun. Now, I want to talk about something that could be important to all dog owners, and that's like, say your dog eats something, you want them to throw it up. How do you throw it up? Use hydrogen peroxide. You can the dosage off the internet. Not use Ipecac. You could use Ipecac all day. It will not make the dog throw up. Humans throw up, but does not make a dog throw up. The only thing that really works is hydrogen peroxide. Don't use too much. Much. The preferred method is mix it. So, diet, but, you know, you should have a can of dog food and hydrogen peroxide around your house in case your dog eats something. Hey, Billy, don't eat that. It's eating grass. It's just one of those things as a dog owner you want to have because you never know what the dog's going to eat. I would never have rat poison on my property. Don't do that, but you know it's a good reason to have hydrogen peroxide and a can of dog food around in case of that. Another example of something that where you might want to we were just talking about it. I don't even know what that means. Another like say your dog got its leather collar off. I've had this happen with strange. I don't put collars superficially. So collar got off, and for some reason it got off, and then the dog chewed it up. Everything. I want the dog to digest that because it's processed leather. So what did I do? I made the dog throw it up. I use hydrogen peroxide, a bit of can, like a half a can of dog food. You mix it in, it's easier for the dog to throw it up. Throw it up within 5 minutes, something like that. Watch the dog eat the back. Billy, come on. I'll put you in and tell this dog to shut up. I don't need this crap. Go. I let Gus out. He's gonna do some, he's gonna be in a shoot with me later because he's a big dummy. Makes sense. It was Haley's idea. It's a good one. Definitely, if somebody has a Peter, my man, what dogs do you have on your property currently? What do you care? You don't know any of them. Sorry, but what do you care? I have 2 clients. The rest are mine. I don't know why you care. My Jack Russell keeps attacking smaller dogs. Any tips to stop her doing this? Yeah, well, one, how's it attacking a smaller dog if it's on a leash? You don't have your dog on a leash, really. Hang on, let me go see what Kevin's saying. I was somebody paying for one of my clients. I got to set up Apple Pay. I don't know how to do it. Thank you, if you, Kevin. So anyway, to make a long story short, your Jack Russell, how can it be attacking smaller dogs when it's on a leash? And clearly your dog is not trained, because dogs that are trained don't do this. Let's say you have a dog that's trained to do protection. The dog that does protection, it's a command that's built into she's leashed, and I have had harnesses. Don't use a harness, and she keeps getting out of them, and we had to, look, okay, you're making excuses here. She's leashed, and we have had 4 harnesses, but she keeps getting out of them. Why are you using harnesses? Harnesses are for sled dogs or highly trained guide dogs. Your dog is neither. Your dog isn't even trained. It attacks other dogs, and you don't have a harness on properly. It's too loose, and you shouldn't be using a harness anyway, because your dog isn't trained. Harnesses promote bad behaviors, like pulling. So it's an indication your dog is out in front of you at all times. You were not responsible enough to use a collar that was proper fitting or a harness. So that's what I'm telling you. It's your fault. You've caused it. You're not going to be able to train this out of the dog. And if you don't start getting your shit together, your dog's going to get put down. That's it. Why is your dog not trained? Because it's cute? So even if you understand, dogs that do protection, they can stay right at heel. They do not just go and attack someone unless they're given the command. Your dog is just fucking gets out of its harness, gets excited. You probably allow it on your bed, don't you? You probably give your dog people food. The reason why I know this, is because of the way your dog responds on a leash. How are you gonna fix it? You're not gonna spend money on training, are you? You just want it. You just wanted your dog to. You're looking for some kind of sentence that'll get your dog trained, and there isn't one. Yeah, pay me and I'll train your dog, but you're gonna have to change your ways. That's it. Move on. Anybody else got another question? The person is saying that the dog gets out of a harness. Your dog shouldn't be on a harness. Harnesses control the body. You need to control the head. Do you have any favorite breed of, what kind of collar do you recommend? A leather one. Do I have a favorite breed of dog? No, I don't. I just the breed of dog that I'm working with at the time. Now, with that said, I am putting Gus, this Labrador, in a video today. It was Haley's idea. She put her pug in a video, and I'm like, that's a great idea where you're going with that. So now we're putting Gus in. I'm going to put all the animals in, I believe. The Raven, Sam the Raven, hey, Gus, you're not a manatee. Get the fuck out of there. My Jack Russell wouldn't heel. She wouldn't leave my heel. She was my shadow. Yeah, well, people are terrible, and then they want some simple solution when they caused a problem, like this person with their Jack Russell that attacks smaller dogs. It can't attack anything if it's on a leash, one, so they're making up lies, and then they're like saying, well, it got out of several harnesses. Well, clearly the harness wasn't on properly, and you shouldn't be using a harness anyway. Never do you ever see me training a dog with a harness, do you? Unless I'm training it to pull something. Thank you, I really appreciate she's a rescue. That's not an excuse. My granddad's responsibility, but now I'm taking control of her. I'm gonna start leashing her from her collar. Yeah, but you better make sure that the collar is on tight enough that the dog can't slip out, okay? Because it already slipped out of a harness, right? So you're taking charge of the dog that was adopted. It was not a rescue. Stop using the term rescue. Rescue is used when you take a dog off the street. Your grandfather adopted it, okay? It's not a rescue. It's an adopted dog just like everybody else gets. Stop using that term. Put the collar on, make sure it's tight. But here's the deal. If a dog comes into your vicinity because your dog isn't trained and is probably loud up on your granddad's bed and everything, it has issues, right? It has issues. It's leash reactive. Now you could say, well, my granddad or whoever had the dog allowed it up on the bed. I didn't. Yeah, but it's in your charge now. How are you going to fix that? You're not going to fix that by food training it. You better just keep it away from everybody and everything, okay? And you better make sure it's leashed at all times. Unless you want to pay for training, but I'm sure that you don't because you're looking for free advice. My free advice is spot on. It is. I've been doing this for a lot of years, so take it and use it. Never have it off of a leash. Never trust it around any small animals, including kittens, cats. Never watch it around small children. And don't allow it anymore. You're just confusing the status of the Jack Russell, all right? Harnesses cause pulling, that's correct. Toxic, they cause pulling and just general bad behavior. You control the head, you don't control the body. Ah, that's good. But what I was talking about earlier, really, that is one of the things you would have in your doggy medicine cabinet is hydrogen peroxide. You should be ready to go in case you have to make the dog throw up. So I can't remember the dosage. I look it up every time real quick on the internet. But it's much. The dog doesn't need much. You mix it into the dog food. You give it to the dog. They'll throw up 5-10 minutes. Okay? Very useful. Your dog, like if it eats something that has strings in it or something, those can wind around, really screw up you take it into the ER. You'll have to take it into the ER. It's better to get the dog to throw up. Don't feed it right away. Let it skip. It'll be fine. You get some water in a little bit. But you want to have it throw up certain things, okay? Leather collar, leather leash. That's when I first got my should run off a Prompt Kids ballpark. After a month, she did it again, even though she was ball crazy. I put her doing fly ball. Don't call Sam a dude. Remove the comment or I remove you. You don't even know Sam. You don't even know his name, do you? You just put Raven. Remove your comment. Yeah, you'll have to look it up. I have to look it up each time. So you don't need a lot. It's per the size of the dog. Maybe it's 1 cc per 5 pounds. I can't remember. You'll have to look it up. Be ready to go though. When you get your hydrogen peroxide in your can of dog food and you want to put it off in like your doggy medicine cabinet, have the dosage of the hydrogen peroxide written on it. Have some way to sort of measure it out so you're ready to go. Because time is of the essence, especially if you're talking about like somehow you shouldn't have rat poison on your property. But something happens and say you take the dog places, you might want to have a doggy medicine cabinet in your car too. And that would be one of the things that you have, okay? But have a way that you can measure out how many cc's you need. Be ready to go, have a small bowl, mix up the hydrogen peroxide into the dog food, give it to the dog, sit back, and it will throw up within 5-10 minutes or something. So, and if it's hot out and you're not at home or something, you're gonna wanna get it in the car in the air conditioner or something because it's thrown up. Okay, it's thrown up and it'll dehydrate. All right, so dehydration is worse than like if your dog's throwing up, that's sort of worse than if your dog has diarrhea. And diarrhea, the way that most people do that is homeopathically by fasting the dog. So if your dog has diarrhea, don't feed it. Skip at least one meal, right? Skip one meal and then feed it half the amount. And then after that, if it's solid, go back to the normal amount. If it's still not solid, maybe the dog has Giardia. Giardia is a single-celled animal. It lives in your dog's stomach. It's really hard to kill. You have to use metronidazole or Panicure or one of those other products. But you have to take care of that. It'll just keep coming back. You see your dog has diarrhea and then it doesn't and then it's sort of loose at the end. That might be Giardia, okay? Birds can get Giardia too. Parrots, when they get Giardia, you have to treat them with metronidazole too. The reason for this is when they have Giardia, it makes their skin sort of itchy and they become pluckers because of that. So if you have a parrot and it's a plucker, you're going to want to make sure that it gets tested for Giardia. And if it does have Giardia, the vet's going to want to put it on metronidazole or another product very much like metronidazole. There's another one specifically for birds, but metronidazole can work for avian species too. But if you do have, hopefully it will help. Listen, It's not going to help. You know why? It's not going to help because you are the owner. And you're saying, hopefully it will help. If you have your dog on a collar and leash, it can't get in any fights. My suggestion to you was get your dog trained. You don't know how to do it, and you're not going to pay for training, are you? You just want to take charge of the dog and have everything okay. You're going to have a shitty relationship with that dog. I'm sorry, that's the way it goes. If you do training, you're going to do it through Petco or some other idiot that trains with food. It's not going to go well. You know, things aren't going to change, I can tell. I just wasted my breath with you. But hopefully what I said makes sense to someone else. Good day to you. Anyway, it's ridiculous, man. It's your dog now. You better do right by it. Dogs need training their entire life, okay? Keep that in mind. I keep cornstarch around too. Now, cornstarch is very effective for avian species. Now, the reason for this is like, say they hurt their claw. Birds don't have connective tissue, so they tend to just keep bleeding. So you have some choices to get it to stop bleeding. You could use like silver nitrate, something like that, get it to quit bleeding. You know, you probably don't have anything to cauterize the wound. So you have very few choices. So say you have a bird and it hurts paw, what you could do is put it in a situation where it has to walk in cornstarch. Okay, cornstarch will give it like a sort of dry it up and sort of give it a scab. So keep it in that for a couple days, right? Walking in the cornstarch. All right, so cornstarch is very helpful. What do you use cornstarch for? Toxic? For wound care? Do you use that with a dog too? That's interesting. Is that what I use? I use it for myself too. I've crazy glue. It's the same thing as Dermabond. I'm comfortable with doing it. I was a vet tech, so I have seen it done. I've done it in front of vets before. I'm comfortable with doing it to myself. I don't suggest that you do it. I'm not suggesting that. I'm just saying that's what I do. Okay. If your dog has a wound that's deep and you know take it to the vet. Can you comment on people who feed their dogs fruit or vegetables? Is it ever acceptable or healthy in any bad ways? Listen, fruit is unnecessary because one, your dog produces vitamin C. So it really doesn't make any sense. Why are you giving it fruit? We don't hear about wolves being shot because they're attacking apple trees, right? So it is really sort of an inappropriate thing. Now, vegetables, same thing. However, when you give raw diet, you might give some plant material, but it's a minuscule amount. Okay? So say I give a leg quarter, I might give either a small amount of cooked oats or I might give some canned spinach. Now, the reason for that is to make it more of a natural diet, meaning like if you say your dog, you got a Labrador or something, to eat a whole rabbit. You know, it eat the whole rabbit, so it eat the contents too. So you want to give it a little plant material. But if you notice when your dog eats grass, it either throws it up or shits it out, right? That's because they're not designed to digest it. So giving your dog carrots is totally inappropriate. Your dog should not be getting that much sugar, and it's totally undigestible, okay? So when you do give raw diet, you want to think in relationship to fiber. How can I give the dog fiber and a cooked fiber that it might be able to utilize? I recommend canned spinach or some other cooked vegetables. Stay away from any type of legume. Any type of beans are just terrible for your dog. That's one of the reasons why the FDA came out with this warning. They believe it's caused by pet foods that are like grain-free. That's where they're having the problem with the cardiomyopathy. And the thing that seems to tie it all together is that it's some type of bean. So stay away from peas, beans, lentils. Don't give your dog any of those, okay? Stick with like something like spinach, oats. If you're gonna give oats, understand that like you're giving it like this carb that's gonna turn to glucose in its system. So if you have a small dog like Mango, you know, there were years that he had, seizures, and it was related to that. Finally, I figured it out. I put him on a raw diet, and he started acting different. We took him off the phenobarbital, and he's just been on a raw diet for years, and now he's 24 years old. So take that for what it's worth. Your dog doesn't need a lot of fiber. That's the least important part of your dog's diet would be fiber. That's all just peripheral. Don't worry about it. You could leave it out. You can omit that sometimes. You don't have to have it. Think of it as protein, fat, and bone. Okay? And the best way to do that in the proper amount, meaning your proper calcium to protein ratio, is using a leg quarter. Leg quarter is not the same thing as a drumstick or a thigh. Both those don't have enough bone in it. If you give your dog a thigh, it's going to have sloppy poop. It's not going to look good. Use the leg quarter. Even if it's a small dog, chop the leg quarter up. Make sure that you're getting that section with the back on it. They need more calcium than a human, at least twice as much, and it depends on the dog, age of the dog, stuff like that. God, that's good. I gotta shoot something. Gus, you want to shoot something with me later? He's gonna be a star. It's Haley's idea. I'm running with it. I think it's a good idea. So we got something coming out. And Toxic, you're up. Oh, Toxic? I need you to do me a favor. You're up right now. Okay? And this is what I need you to do. I need an audio from you. Okay? And let me think about it. I was thinking about it last night, what the audio was I need from you. It's going to be like you're talking on the phone to someone. But you are going to be in this one. So get ready. I'm going to need an audio from you. You can do it through, you could do it through Instagram, right? And give me an audio, and then I'm just going to take it, throw it into a program, and make it sound more like it's on a phone. All right, I'm doing the same thing with what Haley did. Haley, I'm calling Haley on the phone, but I'm not really calling Haley on the phone. She's just acting. But I'm going to put myself in the background screaming, coming through the phone. Because I do have a program in my editing program that makes stuff sound like it's like a phone. So I'll let you know what it is. Let me shoot what I need to. I'm sort of thinking about that, but last night I was like, man, I'm roping Toxic in on this one, and then we'll get you visually on the next one. And you do it however you want. You do it exactly however you want. Toxic, if you want to just have the camera, you know how sometimes you have the camera, but you're not even looking at the camera? Like it's just like part of your head? You want to do it like that, that's okay. You could be a big mystery, okay? I want you to play it however you want, but I'm going to have you say some things that is, I sent a video of you to me ranting. I saw that one. You mean with the audio dubbed in? Yeah, I know, you can do it. I know, you can do it. I know. I thought it was great. That would be great. I'm just saying, you do it however you want. I give you the basic shit to say, go for it, okay? However you want to do it. I know. You were looking at the camera ranting. I know. I get it. For some reason, I think it might be easy for you to act. That's what I think. Am I correct that acting would be something that like sort of would be easier for you or something? Am I right? It is for me. Like that's most of my shit is bullshit. I have a small Shih Tzu that has random grand mal seizures a few times a year. Best way to handle this: get the dog off of pet food. Probably realize it's dietary, and your dog should probably be totally limited to. That's me. You could listen to your vet, but that's very common in small dogs. I would never give your dog any type of anything like dog food or a bone, a milk bone. I'd only give that dog a raw diet from now on, and when I gave it any type of plant material, I'd be using spinach. But I would think of your dog's diet as protein, fat, and bone. You could give your dog like a quarter of a doggy vitamin every couple days. Okay, that's what I would do. It's only 2-3 times a year. It can get worse. So I'd change the diet instantly. That's an indication to me that it is dietary. and your dog might get glucose spikes. You might not realize it, but your dog eats something high carb. Glucose jumps up into the dog's, and then all of a sudden it drops. So that can cause a seizure. All right? That's what I would do. Mango's 24 years old. I got him off of all high carb shit. What's your approach to dental care? My approach to dental care is a raw diet. My dog's teeth look like they're under a year old. No, I don't use a toothbrush and toothpaste. I have my dog on a healthy raw diet. Dogs eat raw chicken, bone in. Eat bone-in chicken. Your dog's on dog food and you're talking about dental care. I don't have dental problems with my dogs. I don't think I've ever had any dental problem with my dog at all. No gum disease, no nothing. And if you are going to do that, you do not use human toothpaste, okay? It's totally different, okay? Their teeth are totally different. God, I can't even imagine brushing my dog's teeth. Here, take your raw chicken. Leave me alone. My pops and I have a purebred Yorkie, 1-year-old baby. Well, it's not a baby, and you said it's a year old, so it's not even a puppy, okay? And I don't know what I'm supposed to say about that. Hey, fat boy, man, I should wash him off before we do this. Maybe I'll just comb him out. He looks like shit, dude. I'll look for a brush, man. He doesn't look fat though. I got his weight off of him. He was looking like a pig. He's looking like a typical lab. Looks pretty good now. You want to keep that lab. You want to keep the lab sort of, they need to go in at the back. It's just like another dog. I can feel some rib. That's how you want them, right, fat boy? God, you're stupid. That dog is fucking a moron. Yes, I love him. This next thing that I'm gonna shoot it with 2 cameras. And then it's time lapse sort of, so I'm shooting it and then we're gonna have to go back later, right before, right before it's getting dark and shoot it. And then I'll figure out what I need you to say, Tox. I just was thinking last night, man, we're just gonna rope. I might be calling you on the phone and threatening you, okay? I might be threatening you. I think that's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna be saying shit to Haley, and then I'm calling you, and I'm gonna be threatening you, okay? We'll get it. This will be a good one. It's gonna start heating up now. We're gonna start putting other people in it too. PL's in a madam in a bordello. A vampire madam. No, wait a minute, is she a vampire or a werewolf? Oh, I think she might be a vampire. Toxic, don't you think PL's more of a vampire than a werewolf? She is, right? I would like to discuss this better. Well, we will. Well, we can. Don't worry about it. Toxic. Don't you think PL makes a better vampire than a werewolf? Right? She's like a madam in a bordello. You know what I'm talking about, right? That's her part, right? Don't you think? What's up? This is Slamming. I know you agree with me. She's not a werewolf. She's a vampire. You're definitely a werewolf. She's a vampire. She's a filthy vamp. She is. Werewolf friends with a vampire. Yeah, but I don't think you're friends with her. You aren't. In real life, you are, not in this. The whole deal is I'm the traitor. You understand that? I'm the traitor. You're the head of the pack that I used to be in charge of. You're not friends with her in this. No, she's an enemy. Okay. Yeah, you get it. You're in charge of the pack. You took over the pack that I was in charge of. I'm the lone wolf. I'm rogue. You guys are trying to kill me. or turn me into a domestic dog, actually. You're trying to turn me into a domestic dog. Gus was turned into a domestic dog. Haley's dog, the pug, I can't remember what that fat little pug's name is. I'll have to find out. That old pug, it's fucking fat. It's cute. I like pugs. I do. I like this pug, Mabel, man. I love that dog. That was my friend Susan's dog. And I loved hanging around with that freak. She was just such a fucking weird little dog. Mabel. God. I think Mabel's in a movie that I did with Susan, that 98.6. Mabel's in there, I'm sure, at some point. She'd have to be. God, it's such a weird little pug, too. It had, like, these, like, fucked up bent feet and shit. It's just, like, such a little freak. Susan loved that dog. When that dog passed, I was just like, God, I knew it tore Susan up. She got a new dog, but that's the way to do it. What are you going to do? If I wasn't in a situation where I was dealing with everybody else's dogs, right, I would have gotten a puppy when Ike died, but, you know. Puddin' is sitting next to me. Really short-haired, bald dogs are extremely warm. I got to shoot this thing and get back to work. I got to start shooting this with Gus. I'd like to hose him off a little bit. He looks like shit. Pugs are lovely. The one I had with my old girlfriend, I named it Rosie. I got more shit to do with Lutzy and I almost said the wrong name. I was thinking about a human. And Snail. Snail, started working on Woe. And I really, testimony yesterday was nuts, huh? Oh my God. Could you believe that? He's gonna get in, he has to be indicted at this point. This is slamming, don't you think so? I mean, there's no way around it. He's getting indicted, and I won't be surprised if he's not convicted. He's got people in his... People are going to give him up. Like some of the people that are, like, not saying anything, you know? Like, they're going to give him up, too. Everybody's going to... It goes uphill. So what are you going to do? Are you going to go to jail for Donald Trump? Some of those people are going to have to do something. It doesn't matter. They're not going to totally get off, but they're going to have to cut a deal. Those people are old. We can't have a democracy where you could have a president that this is okay, that they can just... Everybody said, you really lost the election fair and square. You lost. And he just goes out and says no. He's spread the big lie. But everybody in his cabinet was saying, no, you really lost. Biden won. But you ask how many of these Republicans that follow Trump, they think the election was stolen. You can't have a democracy if something like that goes down and you just let it slide. It just can't. And like, it boggles my mind because the states that they're complaining about, they're all like Republican states. It was like, what are you talking about? You had Republicans certifying the election. But Trump is like, no, it's, you know, he's on video just fucking saying basically just like, you know, God. There's been threats to people, like, don't, you know? It's unbelievable, man. Right? Right, Sparrow? Guy's a fucking wreck. It's just so clear he didn't care about anything but himself. You know, his own daughter gave him up. Come on. I tell you, the one thing is Mark Meadows. Like, there's some people that were like, I'm not getting involved in this. I'm getting out of here. Like, Jared Kushner went to Saudi Arabia on November 6th. He didn't even want to be around. And then there were people that were trying to cover their asses, like his lawyers were like, we got to do something, you know? Like, we got to do, we're all going to end up in jail if you do this. You know, that we're trying to cover their asses. And then the only one that really, it's not really clear what he's doing or what he did or what he knew and when he knew it. But that's you know, McCarthy. What? Gus? You're cute. How are we gonna get, we need you a little bit slicker, dude. What could we do? We could rinse you off, I guess, with a hose. Didn't his niece write a book about how yeah, oh yeah. Sure. Marry Trump? Yeah, he's a horrible human. It's amazing he has so many people like him. It's amazing he has so many people like him that are, like, not rich. Oh, the stuff about him, like, getting mad and throwing food at the wall. God. You know? And that, supposedly that happened a lot. I heard stories about him that, like, if he was eating a Snickers, he'd just take the paper and leave it. Like, just drop it on the ground. You know, so somebody else will pick it up. Fuck that. You want somebody to pick up your garbage? That's narcissism. I know people like that. I know someone like that. It's like a personality disorder, I guess. Like, you have no consideration for somebody. Like, Trump's as lucky as rich, because if you're not rich and you're like that, your life ain't gonna go very well. Hey, knock it off, Gus. Fat boy. Yeah, I gotta comb him out before the shoot. Yeah, I agree. I believe she's a shrink, like a clinical psychologist. Get out of here, man! You're gonna get in trouble. I would like to know your thoughts on the pug that was once a werewolf. I was just talking about that dog. It's real cute. That's what happens. That's what happens. That can happen. You don't want to be turned into a fucking domestic dog, do you? No more fun. Eating the farmer's chickens and shit. Being shot at. I gotta get ready to shoot this stuff. I guess I'll just wear this. Fuck it, who cares? Doesn't matter what I look like. Haley's in it. She'll take up the slack. Gus is in it and the pug is in it. Doesn't matter what I look like. Of course, we'll use Haley in the thumbnail. I'm pretty sure, unless I can pull something off that looks better. I don't know if that I can do that. The thumbnail of me with blood on my face would have been good. I would have done that, but maybe I'll change it now and see if it'll fly. I didn't put it because I thought maybe it was too much and it might not get monetized. Maybe I'll try it now, but would have been a good thumbnail. It's always better to use the attractive woman for sure. Yeah, Pumpkin could be in it. Yep. Yeah, well, maybe not on this one, but you're damn right. Yeah, Pumpkin can be in it. We'll make some kind of, we'll make something. Haley was talking about this earlier. I'm gonna read again what she was talking about, but I had the basic idea. That's why I was gonna put Gus in it, and I was like, I'm putting Gus in it. And then, we'll talk about it. Yeah, absolutely, let's put the dogs in it. By the way, instead of cutting meat, could I cut hot dogs to use a hammer? Use a hammer to what? You don't have to do that in this one. Toxic, you're gonna do that in the next one. We don't even need to talk about that. I just need an audio from you this time, okay? It's just gonna be an audio, okay? You are in the next video and you will probably be doing something like that, but yes, you can. Use a hammer to what? Smash hot dogs? Is that what you're talking about? We can talk about it later. But you're coming up with acting. You obviously can do it. So it's coming up, Tox. Just need the audio today, but let me figure out what the audio is that I need. It's something along what I was saying. Like, I'm gonna be berating you. Like, you motherfucker, I know you have some kind of fucking part in this. You bitch wolf, I'm coming after your ass. I'm coming after all you. You're gonna be fucking sorry you did that shit. Don't deny it. I know you fucking did it. It reeks of you. You reek. You're dead. You're dead to me. Something like that. And you're very calmly saying, okay, come after me. You're by yourself. Something like that. All right? I'll get it more concise. All right, let me wash Gus off because I got to use him, and I'll see y'all. Okay.